What is up, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, day traders, cloud swing traders? Hope you guys are doing okay. I just even if you're okay, that's good right now. I take that as a win. If you just even okay, but I hope you guys are doing well. Al's in the house. Good morning to you. Good morning to Amy. Good morning to Anna, Andy, Bill, Brian, Cheryl, Frank. Good morning to Jason, Joe. Good morning to Lauren, Lucian, Malik. Good morning to Mark, Marius, Peter, Reed, Rick, Rob's in the house. Good morning to Shane. Tim is with us. Good morning to you. All my people out in YouTube land. Clarice coming in and scooping those gold medals today. We got Lala. Good morning to you. Good morning to Leonard LC, Big Dream. Good morning to B Jal. All my lurkers in the background of YouTube. Just not gonna say nothing all day. It's okay. I still love you. Hit that like and subscribe button. But another down day. So now you got about 8% down in 2 days. Pretty wild trading in these markets. I don't know if I've been in a market that's just dropped this quick. I'm thinking back to COVID. We had some limit downs, things like that. Um, I don't know. Very comparable though. Very, very comparable. But we're still not really seeing the actual like fear panic that we saw so far in COVID. Um, and I think it has to do with probably a few things, but one of them being that we could get a new negotiation on tariffs at any point. We don't know. But if you're holding long term, if you're holding anything in a bullish direction, it's probably getting slightly, and that's probably an understatement, but slightly clobbered at this point. So we'll see. Other than that, SPY gapping down again. We do have a kind of an interesting spot. So let's go through the SPY real quick. Again, and we also have Jerome Powell speaking today too. I don't know if he's going to say anything that can save the market, but there's at least the opportunity for him to put on a cape and try to save the day. We will see. But otherwise, let's look at the technical basis of the SPY right now. We have a big sell day yesterday. It was a gap and go. We had zero interest from buyers all the way throughout. I tried. It was such a dirty down day. I had to try a couple things bullish. We lost very, very small on it. So, but I was like, I can't go short on days like this. I just can't. And now you have another gap down, but this one's a retest gap. So we do have the retest on the table. The other thing that is interesting is your next resistance in terms of volume. From what I'm looking at, I got 528.39 on the side, all the way up to like 529.69. We'll call it 530, but somewhere up in that zone is your next resistance. If you get back above it, there's not really much from keeping you pushing higher. But right now we're kind of in almost no man's land down here. Um, until we hit this big volume zone, which we have hit already pre-market. So if I was to draw like a little bit of a box around some of this volume, somewhere in this zone, and we were slightly above it, we were in this pre-market. So the question to me is, can we come back? Can we just blindly buy a dip? It might be the case for today. We'll see. Otherwise, I have my untested VPOC somewhere around 516.88. We look at pre-market. Where do we get that bounce? Very close to 516.88. We had a little trap wick underneath it, a small little hammer candle. So I don't know if the market just put in. I'm not saying a long-term bottom, but a temporary bottom for today, or and then that gives us enough room to just kind of clear home, have a strong retest, or if in live hours we pull back. But watch that 516.88 if we do sell off. For now, you have your little pre-market, and there's a ton of volume today. So all of this pre-market is going to be a healthy kind of support. Sometimes when there's not a lot of volume, you could easily break through them. But 522.08 for right now. So I think at this point there's probably a little bit of buy the dip, some shorts maybe taking some gains, especially ahead of Jerome Powell. We don't know what he's going to say, so we will see. Reed says I remember COVID. I think we had. During COVID, I think we had like three limit downs. I think we had three total. Maybe four. I think there was an extra one that we limited down twice or something. I don't know. But yeah, interesting spot. The technicals will tell you it's time to day trade at least in a bullish direction. However, until we get some news, it's going to be tough. But this is a very, very interesting spot for a retest gap where at least you might not want to go short at open today. Even if you're playing it back down to that 516, I mean that's still $10. So I guess there is range on it even still from here to the downside. What would let me know kind of is can we get above, I guess, this next VPOC, 526.22, anything above that, maybe you have an opportunity, but even that's gonna be probably $4, $3 until the to the higher side, and then we'll go from there. But okay. All right, market. What do we got in store for today? We got Q's, that is gapping down into a very interesting location. So I have the bigger volume somewhere sitting at 438.18. Let's check this one out. Where were we pre-market? We got this bad boy all the way down to 430.69. And I forget what we just said. 430.69. Oof. The next volume zone, that was actually retested over here. We opened into it from a couple days ago. A couple a couple days ago, a couple months ago. This might be an interesting bounce spot for Qs. It is a same thing, so we do have that retest gap. We got down to 430.69. That last VPOC is 435, so we went well below that one. I'm not even seeing a zone, maybe the top of that little pivot from here. But again, I'm not saying long term this is the bottom. I'm just saying for day trade purpose, quick moves, maybe get some shorts covering, and then as a bull, you could probably take advantage of it. Let's take a look real quick at Bitcoin, BTC, USD. Stock market will be the seventh casino that Trump bankrupts. Um, well, if that is your thought process, you can go short. You can buy some puts. You can short some shares if that is. Here's a wild thought process that I have. Very, very wild. The stock market will end up actually just being fine. And we will see all-time highs. I did not say all-time highs under Trump. We might. We'll see how everything plays out. But at some point, yeah, I think the stock market will be resilient as it is designed just to continuously go higher. Let's address that one real quick. Hold on. Let's take a look real quick on the monthly basis. Here is the longer term stock market. We could even go back further. We've experienced pretty big dips in the market. We've experienced pandemics, housing crisis, financial crisis, bank collapses. Now we face tariffs. Where are we at the monthly? Yesterday we closed right at that 20. We've had not even let's just check out this pullback real quick. So if we go from I think somewhere about here to here, this is not going to be right to the exact price, but we got into the 30% retracement. So on a monthly basis, you're looking at 512.24 will take you into a 50% retracement. Get a little lower than that, 488.09 is a 618 retracement. So right now, we didn't even pull back half of the last move we've had since October of 2023, where we've just continued straight up. So I can see why there's not really a lot of fear and panic quite yet. It's all very, very quick, very big, and we'll see how it plays out. But yeah, I think um, if you're looking to like if you have a long term, I would just not just do the same thing you've been doing. I think overall, longer term, if you have time on it, you don't need the money today. I think we're actually setting up for probably a bigger buy opportunity than we've seen in a very, very long time. Clarice says it doesn't go straight up. Yeah, but there will be a lot of headlines that Trump is absolutely rooting the market. Everything is bad. Everything is coming back hard. Take it for what you want. If you don't like the market, if you think it's still too high, you have the opportunity to short. That's why the market's a great place to be. Any thought that you could have, and you could absolutely be correct where this market comes down a lot lower. I'm with you. I don't see it really looking like it's going to bounce yet. we're gonna need some actual news for something crazy to happen. But um, dead forever? No, probably not. Best buying spot right now, and probably be cautious. It's almost a do nothing situation right now. Bitcoin is on the verge of a bigger move down, so we've made it into, we're still just hovering. Anything really under probably $80,000, and that would take you into, I think, 67 all the way down to like 63,000 for Bitcoin. But another really, really big move. Hasn't really done anything in the last really couple months, so surprisingly, it is still being a little resilient from everything else, which is interesting. Bitcoin today, just a little bit of a high wave candle at the moment, and then you have look for 81,939. If that starts to break, you got room to the downside, but um, yeah, just kind of hanging out. It's actually kind of looking decent so far. Spy leaps coming. Um, it's probably not a bad idea, but yeah, I don't. I agree to the spy leaps coming. I just don't know when they're coming. So I don't know if today is the best time to do it, although it's big retest gap. So we'll see. The other thing is, let's take a look at the VIX real quick. The VIX hit above $44 today. I think Lou had a question, can we hit 28 yesterday? I was like, I don't know. It's possible. I think it would have had to happen pretty soon in the morning. And not only did it happen, but we closed at like $30. You got a strong move up to $45, it looks like today. So 45.62 on the VIX. Usually, this is a good time to sell uh contracts, not a good time to buy contracts. Usually when the VIX is lower, that means your premiums are lower. That's usually the better time to buy contracts. So if you're going to go with the leaps, they are probably going to be relatively still expensive at this point, unfortunately. But I think if you're trying to buy shares are probably the better way to go at the moment, unless it's a quicker move in and out, something like that. For the moment, let's see. I saw a couple tickers in there. Corin says, "I love American optimism." I don't know if it's optimism or it's just history. History does tend to repeat itself. And like I said, I don't think today is the best day to go out and say I'm gonna gobble up every share possible. You got Meta is also a retest gap, a little bit of a gap down. You got I'm looking at like 505. Let's go a little lower. You got $500 and 1 penny on Meta. That will at least get you to the bottom of that pivot. We're still way above it. You got a couple supports in there. So right now, look for some support around 507. I feel like I almost have to go to this pre-market for everything because it got a little wild. So you got right into that 500 zone that we just talked about. And you look like you have a little inverted head and shoulders. It is a retest gap. You have a lot of room. I don't know that we're retesting yesterday's candle. It seems like a quite fairly big move. But maybe you can see 515 today. I like that inverted head and shoulders pre-market. That looks interesting. Mm-mm. Let's see. This isn't the issue. You guys don't understand what export control means. Uh-huh. What China is doing is far more important than tariffs. You will learn in a few days. So, Corin, what shorts do you have on the table at the moment? I need to know. I need to know where we should be at. If you got something, say something. We got Netflix. Netflix is gap and go to the downside. It looked a little rough at open yesterday. I got 898.25 is a good support on this one, but that is a gap and go. It looks a little bit different. Had a much different day than most of the rest of the market did, where it actually came in for that retest. Um, See if there's a little hesitation, even though it's a green day that mostly was a retest. Otherwise, it kind of looks like it's probably primed for a short, just with a few levels of support right below you. Stretch target for today, if we get there, is about 867 Did this one have any wild pre-market? It's holding up okay. It's holding up decent. We will see. But yeah, the Netflix looks like the better choice for a short than Meta if you want to go in those directions. Meta, I think, almost looks like a potential bounce and a fade higher, so we'll have to see on that one. Mike says we haven't S curved on the monthly since October 2023. Yep. Let's see other tickers. Wendy says already in puts on Netflix and Meta. The Meta one's a little bit more. I mean, this is still questionable, still holding a little bit of support, and it held up kind of fairly well yesterday. Um, but Meta to me looks like if you're going to take a gain somewhere, it's probably on the Meta. That's what I'm thinking. Let's take a look real quick at Tesla. Tessie. We got Tesla is gapping down. Not loving the location. Would like to see us get back above 256.82. Otherwise, I do have pretty high. And again, Tesla held very, very well yesterday, all things considered. It was still down a decent percentage, but that came off of a massive rip from the day before. We just really put in an inside high wave candle. Again, I'm not loving the location that we're kind of opening at yet. I don't know if I want to scream bullish and expect the market to bounce and Tesla goes with it. But I think if we get above 257.12 again, that might be an interesting location. And then I do have a really, really good support somewhere around 251.73. So risk to reward might be good. I don't know if I want to play the low of Wednesday's candle as a stop. I think I'd rather prefer to play this candle from March 31st, give it a little bit more room. It's about a $10 move though, so maybe if this one comes into like this 251.73, but a very interesting area on Tesla. See if we get some support, but we have to take out this 257.12 though. And then you have a good potential bounce into like this 267.89 again. With one more level, but we've been through this one a couple times, 260.11. So maybe if the market does want to bounce, Tesla held kind of strong yesterday at least. Maybe it's got an opportunity if the market can get a retracement in. Might be interesting. And he says, I wonder where Elon margin call is at on his loans he has against the shares. I thought that was I thought he got that a while ago though, like somewhere around like 180-ish. But yeah, that'd be a good question. You start seeing Elon get margin calls? Uh-oh. He said probably around 150, 160. Yeah, I think probably somewhere around there. I think he's still wildly up in a lot of these things. My long-term energy utility stocks are the only ones up right now. WEC. WEC Energy. Yeah, that looks good. That's a nice little gap and go. Still inside that candle, but that looks pretty strong. Let's check out gold's GLD. That one had a finally pulled back, and even that pullback was a retrace. That's gapping down and opening at a little support, but even gold started to slip yesterday at pre-market. Silver, that one's getting a little bit more clobbered. Pre-market today, a decent beating. You have your 200 on silver right here, essentially where we're opening. You also have good support, and it is a retest gap. Silver might be a decent fade into that 200. It's gonna have to be a tight spread on this one. That's the only. It's gonna be a tight stop loss. We got to make this one work. Otherwise, you only have really about 89 cents higher, which makes SLV tougher for a day trade. Let's see. Corner says I exited everything last week, holding some cash. Cash is a good position. Mm, but not going short though, is what you're telling me. You're hanging into cash, which is good, but not going short yet. We got SOXL. That one is getting decimated. You have some levels over here that have not been retested. Again, this all could be a big retest. And I think we have Jerome Powell at 11:25 today. So again, we'll see if the market can react. I don't think you need much. I don't know what he's got to say, but I don't think you need much to at least get a stronger push for today. It's also Friday. Let's check out the weekly on some of these things. The weekly candles have been down, 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 down. You got your next volume you really have to hold on to on SOXL, $9.24. A close below it. Things get a little uglier down to like $6 and then maybe back to like some pivots from back here, $2.87. But yeah, getting a little crushed. You got Nvidia. Nvidia is down, still kind of hanging out. You got your 100 coming in soon. This is off the weekly. So your weekly 100 to note is $95.47. Daily for today, it is a retest gap, so you already have some shorts in this thing that will be profitable at open that just closed their eyes and held through the overnight session. I don't see anything to really save it though, so be careful of that. We should have held on the way down. I think a lot of people probably looking for this $100.49 zone. The next spot that I really see some volume is about $95. So we'll see. $95 looks interesting. And then we were talking about this yesterday. We were like, man, with all this movement, VIX being so high, because we thought it was high yesterday until it went to $45 today, this morning. Maybe a day to sell some premiums. But this is what I was kind of looking at. I was like, maybe we should just wait a little bit. We would have been looking for like the $90 puts. You could probably do it. You'll get paid more today. But I think I want to take something around like the $85 strike, which means I almost want to get into this 90 to 90 zone. Give me at least 95 or lower, and then maybe it's probably time to sell some Nvidia puts. But yeah, that it's a retest gap. I just don't have anything to save us from here. So I don't know if that's my favorite fade of the day. I'd almost want to see this get some kind of a quick drop into that 95 zone and then give it a shot if we're going to try it in a longer direction. Even if Powell misses the mark, he may not add to the downside. But yeah, that's the upside. Um, what else do we have to do? Like, it's pretty hard to mess this one up. He just has to show up. He could not say anything and just leave, and then maybe that's like the market's like, all right, conspiracy theory. What does that mean? Baba, yeah, China's getting a little wrecked. Uh, oops, I just typed in Nvidia again. Baba, nope, B A. Why is my A not working? There we go. Baba, yeah, so that was down to 117.81 pre-market. You do have a little support here. There was nothing holding us up, so it is a big move to the downside. However, look for a little support around this 115 zone. Maybe we got that pre-market. Let's see. Yeah, we got right into that 115 uh high 115 zone, 116. So we've almost already hit it. Those moving averages on a short-term time frame are still coming down, so I think there's a little pressure. See if we get back down there in live markets to I think somewhere probably right around 115, 114.86. Maybe a small bounce spot if we don't just put in some kind of high wave candle, but again, like I said yesterday, market's moving fast today. So that means typically move slow. Don't be catching falling knives. Find some kind of good pattern, some kind of volume. Uh, the direction is to the downside. The movement is to the downside. Momentum's to the downside. It is going to be another day where it's just very tough for me to go short. Just being honest. Just being honest, very, very tough for me to go short on when technicals look like good retests. There's some upside to things. We're at some support for things. But that doesn't mean I'm going to keep my R at a full R loss. I'm going to probably be moving those up. If I take haircuts, that's fine. Survive when the market doesn't work. Mark says number 9. Duke the Fool says number 10. I'm confused. What do we I don't even see. I don't even see what we're doing. Let's see, markets don't bottom on a Friday. They say, yeah, that is a theory too. I've heard that theory. Markets don't really bottom on a Friday, which means that Monday will be more of a bloodbath over the weekend. It's possible. The only thing that could probably change it is Trump at this point over the weekend, if there's any negotiations or anything like that. There could be. It's very, very news market right now. Nike got absolutely clobbered yesterday. That pain is still sinking in for Nike. I don't have any. I got to go to the weekly on this one. Uh, well, we're into a little volume zone on a weekly basis. We could see, I mean, I don't know. We could see green candles today, and then on Monday, it's just another kind of gap and go. It's very, very possible too, if we don't get any real news or we don't see any like negotiations or progress in negotiations or anything like that. So, yeah, this market could get crazy. We'll see. Palantir on a daily, you do have a gap and go. You're gonna have that 100 again, kind of just holding up pretty strong, all things considered. Considering the move that we had on Palantir, we have not really given too much of that back quite yet. You have really good support, slightly under where we're at now from the open, and pretty much essentially right at that 100 EMA. So see if 79.12 holds. If we start to lose that 100, maybe got room back into like this 200 EMA, which also lines up with that VPOC somewhere around 64.47. But yeah, okay. Coinbase, check that one out. Coinbase is still gap and go from yesterday. That yesterday was a gap and go, kind of a failed gap and go. Maybe we see more reaction today. The only thing again, Bitcoin is kind of just trading sideways at the moment, holding up fairly well. MU is getting absolutely clobbered lately. Again, once we started to really break under, I think 87.77, there's not a lot holding us back. There's not a lot of volume. There's some in here, nothing too crazy until we get into this zone. So maybe a little bit more room to the downside. 68.51. Where did we get to? $69. So very close to that zone, and it is a retest gap. I kind of like if these things can get going, there's not a lot really holding them back interest from the Bulls or the Bears to really squash a rally if we could get one. But yeah. Anybody feeling comfortable in the market? Anybody like, yeah, no, this is my zone to trade in. Hood looks like it's on the absolute verge on a daily basis of complete collapse into $22. So let's see if we can hold that 200. Right now, that looks like a bounce spot pre-market. Interesting spot to hold. Let's see if it could actually do it. There's a lot of things that are like it has to start to look to bounce a little bit. Who knows if it comes in? Otherwise, that is the morning bell. Everybody YouTube land, make sure you guys hit that like and subscribe button if you've not done so already. You guys are absolutely incredible, and I will catch you all later. Catch you on Monday. Later, guys.